As we take a look at the other Group D action here tonight, Canada taking care of business, finishing top of the group, and beating the Virgin Islands by 30 points. So, if you take a look at the standings in Group D, you see Canada 5-1, Dominican Republic a chance to tie that record, and the Virgin Islands have stamped their spot into the next round thanks to a winless Bahamas team who will look to try to get their first victory of the qualifiers here tonight. You'll get a chance to see their local hero turned global superstar, Buddy Hield. Meanwhile, for the Dominican Republic, this is a huge occasion as despite the DR having a 4-1 record, this is actually the first time that the national team will play in the Palacio de los Deportes, which is in the capital city of Santo Domingo. The last time, for many of these Dominican fans, the best memory involving basketball was the 2004 gold medal, the Central Basket, won in this very stadium. So a lot of good memories for the Dominican national team in this facility. And we're going to have the player introductions here for the Bahamas, followed by the introductions of the Dominican Republic.
Con el número 6, Travis Munings. Number 6, Travis Munings. Con el número 7, Buddy Hield. Number 7, Buddy Hield. Con el número 9, St. Knowles. Number 9, St. Knowles. Con el número 11, Shaquille Clare. Number 11, Shaquille Clare. Con el número 14, Kadim Colby. Number 14, Kadim Colby. Y con el número 15, Jaron Burrows. Number 15, Jaron Burrows. The coach, Mario Bolek. And their assistants, Norris Bain and Stephen Borns. El coach, Mario Bolek, y sus asistentes, Norris Bain.
So we're getting the introduction to the Bahamas team. And now we will listen to the Dominican Republic being introduced.
Club team, the Dominican Republic. Con el número 1, Dagoberto Peña. Number 1, Dagoberto Peña. Con el número 2, Rigoberto Mendoza. Number 2, Rigoberto Mendoza. Con el número 4, Gelvis Solano. Number 4, Gelvis Solano. Con el número 5, Víctor Liz. Number 5, Víctor Liz. Con el número 6, Juan Coronado. Number 6, Juan Coronado. Con el número 7, Sadiel Rojas. Number 7, Sadiel Rojas. Con el número 8, Edward Santana. Number 8, Edward Santana. Con el número 10, Adris de León. Number 10, Adris de León. Con el número 11, Eloy Vargas. Number 11, Eloy Vargas. Con el número 30, Jonathan Araujo. Number 30, Jonathan Araujo. Con el número 41, Juan José García. Number 41, Juan José García. Y con el número 44, Luis David Montero. Number 44, Luis David Montero.
So, following the introductions in both English and Spanish, we will have the playing of the national anthems for both countries.
Let's get up and hear the national anthem from Bahamas. Nos mantenemos de pie para escuchar las notas del himno nacional dominicano. We stand up to hear the Dominican Republic national anthem.
Wow. The a cappella rendition of the Dominican Republic's national anthem as both teams exchange souvenirs and mementos at half court in a great testament to the sportsmanship in FIBA in this international competition. And despite this being the last game of tonight's Group D action, there's still quite a lot to talk about. So as we introduce the referees, Anthony Jordan, Jorge Luis Cabrera Espinosa, and Julio Anaya from Panama, Cuba, and the United States. But today's game is so meaningful for so many of these players and fans here in the Dominican Republic. Again, they don't get the chance to play in this national arena too often. And you heard the ovation that some of these players got. For Mendoza, for example. So the leading scorer, Rigoberto Mendoza, the 6'3" guard, he mentioned that this will be the first time he wears a Dominican uniform in front of the Santo Domingo fans. So as you see here, the Bahamas team, of course, led by number 7, Buddy Hield, who played his first competitive game in the World Cup qualifiers with Bahamas on Friday in a loss to the Virgin Islands. Bahamas going down 84-74, despite it being shoot your shot season for Buddy Hield. He had 23 points on 9 of 24 shooting, 5 of 16 threes. The 16 threes, a record here in the World Cup qualifiers. So he'll be joining the starting lineup by Michael Carey, Shaquille Clear, Jerron Barrows, and Lou Rosner. Meanwhile, the Dominican Republic, they're led by number 2, Rigoberto Mendoza, as well as number 44, Luis Montero there at the bottom. The two guards providing a lot of excitement for this team. And in the starting lineup, it's going to be the aforementioned Montero. And then he's going to be joined by Victor Liz, Juan Coronado, Edward Santana, and Eloy Comacho. Meanwhile, the head coach for the Bahamas is Mario Bowleg. And he leads a team that's ranked 59th in FIBA on the global rankings. Meanwhile, the DR are led by coach Melvin Lopez. And a top 20 ranking is enjoyed by everyone in the Dominican Republic right now. Small island with a lot of talent. They're ranked 17th in FIBA. Of course, their proudest export at the moment to the NBA game, Al Horford, who has played for the Dominican Republic in the past. And if things stay true and they get a chance to qualify for the World Cup, Montero and Mendoza will probably like to get his company back. So we're moments away here from the opening tip in Santo Domingo. And we're underway at the Palacio de los Deportes in Santo Domingo. Starting with the bars, Juan Coronado. Here's Victor Ruiz, and the first outside shot of the game is no good, but the offensive rebound goes over to Camacho. And on the block, it's Camacho. Now the free throw line, he pulls up. First shot, no good. And the rebound is collected by Jerron Burroughs. So Buddy Hield running the point guard here at the start of the game for the Bahamas. We expect a lot of the action to be for him on the offensive end. And he turns the ball over. Here comes Coronado. Oh, the quick feed inside to Montero. Kicks it back out. And Coronado's first three, no good. So, still scoreless here after a minute of play. Buddy Hield coming off a 6-turnover game in its game against the Virgin Islands on Friday. Meanwhile, the floater from Michael Carey is no good. The Dominican Republic coming off a really tough loss to Canada on Friday night, 97-61, which was the Dominican Republic's first loss. Also, first time playing in Toronto in the World Cup qualifiers. And Carey will be at the free throw line, connecting on the first one. So Michael Carey, the 6'4" guard, comes in averaging close to 11 points per game here in these qualifiers. Had 17 points on Friday against the Virgin Islands, really providing some support for Buddy Hield. So he goes 2 for 2 for the first 2 points of the game in the Bahamas with the early lead. Here's Montero. And Victor Ruiz, ball slips out of his hand. Buddy Hield able to chase it down. And good hustle as Coronado pokes it away. So Hield showing a little burst to get to the ball, but not enough burst to get away from Coronado. And another turnover, or near turnover, should I say, by Hield. Carey able to chase it down, finds Burroughs. And the long three is shot and missed. Travis Munnings. And a few players seem to be losing control of the ball as Victor Ruiz couldn't quite get his hands on it. And a long three again, Victor Ruiz. Again, no good. The ball's kept alive. And heading to the free throw line, Edward Santana, who got the offensive rebound, battling for position. Nearly got the and one. You see he's frustrated. Felt he should have made the shot. So Santana will head to the free throw line and give the DR a chance to get their first points. And he does just that. So the Dominicans on the board. Edward Santana, who, like the rest of this team, had a tough game on Friday against Canada. Only one player in double figures. That was Mendoza, who's coming off the bench here tonight. And here's Hield looking to square it up. Kicks it out, and that shot is no good. But Claudine Cowdy able to re-secure the extra possession. Now Hill takes a long three, and he misses as well. And another offensive rebound. And Burroughs unable to connect on his putback. So some cold shooting here so far. Quadrado steps up, he again misses. So neither team able to score here as Burroughs is inside now, misses the layup. So up and down we go. We'll credit it to good defense. Neither team with a field goal yet in the first 3+ minutes. Fans are getting restless. Montero now. A little bit of a do-it-all player. Victor Ruiz, 3-point on the wing. Still no good. Camacho with the extra possession. And the ball goes back to Coronado. And a poke away there from Burrows. So 3 seconds to go on the shot clock for the Dominican Republic. Still looking for their first field goal. Still looking for the first basket of the night. Only 4 free throws so far. And Santana goes to the basket. Oh, what a block. Colby, elevates. And here comes Hield now in transition. And one. Buddy Hield with an impressive move to finally get the first field goal. A nice behind-the-back move to elude the defense, and then finishing through the contact for the and one. Take another look here at Colby's block. Extremely long arms. Led to the transition opportunity where Buddy Hield gets all the way to the cup. So Hield makes the free throw for the and one. And the ball goes inside. It's going to be a foul on Colby as Camacho was able to get a little bit of separation to make a nice catch. So the foul will be on Kadeem Colby. And Camacho knocks down the first free throw. No basket. So 2 for 2 for Camacho. And we're going to have the first substitution of the night as Shaquille Clear checks into the game. Shaquille Clear, the 6'8" center, comes in averaging 12-plus points per game in 3 games in the qualifiers. And it's his first touch here. Looking for the handoff with Hield. And give and go. Doesn't quite work. Travis Munnings, shot clock winding down. Nice jump stop. Oh, nice shot there. Travis Munnings able to get into the lane and finish in the middle of the key. Montero now dances with the ball, loses it, and Munnings kind of just throws it away, ends up in Hield's hands. Carey spot up 3, too strong. And the putback is good for Travis Munnings. So back-to-back buckets for Munnings and the Bahamas off to a 9-4 start. And you hear the Dominican fans trying to rally their guys. Nice backdoor cut. Victor Lees finishes it. Impressive move there to get away from Hield. And here's Buddy. Pulls it for 3. Just a little bit to the left. Victor Lees breaks out. Takes the contact, and they're going to call it blocking foul on Buddy Hield. And you can see Hield's mentality much more like the Oklahoma Sooners version than the Sacramento Kings one, as he's very aggressive looking for a shot. And that's exactly what the Bahamas needs from him if they want to take this nation, this rising basketball nation to the next level. Obviously, DeAndre Ayton getting drafted as the first pick overall from the Bahamas. A huge moment in this country's basketball history. And due to the NBA draft commitments and rookie commitments, DeAndre Ayton decided to not play in this particular window. But the future is promising for the Bahamas as the first free throw goes in for Victor Lees. So 2 for 2 for Lees, and it's back to a 1-point game. So Mendoza matching up here with Buddy Hield. Carey gets it inside, and Shaquille Clear finishes strong at the basket. Santana now over to Lease, and they're going to call a second foul on Hield. So Hield looks at the bench and asks to stay in the game despite the two early fouls. And I'm not sure Coach Boleg has many other options that are quite close to Buddy Hield's talent. So we'll see what kind of decision he makes as Mendoza gets stripped from Munnings. And Munnings showing you the speed, and then dangerous play there as he gets pushed in the back on the breakaway layup. Unable to finish, but will head to the free throw line. So Travis Munnings, with a couple of steals here early on, crashes into the stanchion and slides off the court. So good to see that he's not too shaken up. And now for the first time, we're going to see Zane Knowles, who hasn't played at all actually in the World Cup qualifiers. His first action, the 6'10" big. And that's one thing this Bahamas team does have his size, with 5 centers on the roster. So Munnings goes 2 for 2 from the line. And he's got 6 early points to lead all scorers. Montero thought about the 3, hesitated, and then knocks down the 3. And Luis Montero, very dynamic player for this Dominican team. 11 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists a game. Showing you the outside touch, a 45% shooter from beyond the arc. Here's Carey now. Looks to get into the lane. He's blocked by Santana. Mendoza throws the ball just a little behind, and it still ends up staying Dominican's ball. So very fortunate there for Mendoza. Pass was just a little off target, a little behind. And here's Mendoza over to, oh, the nice spin move. Lease can't finish. Did everything but score. And they're going to call that it's going to be a 3rd foul on Buddy Hield in the first quarter. And he'll have no choice but to come out of the game now. They call him for the push-off, offensive foul. So it does seem, and he has to be careful what he says, because obviously a technical foul counts as another personal foul. So Buddy Hield forced to sit down early here with 3 fouls. And Bahamas with a 2-point lead when he came out of the game. And another turnover. And look at the speed. Chase down, block. Wow, Jonathan Arrojo able to catch up to Jason Cornish. Jason Cornish seemed to have had a couple of steps. And Arrojo, who only plays a couple of minutes here and there, and before the ball gets on the backboard, so no goaltending. Phenomenal hustle that time from the big man. So DR in a 2-3 zone here on the baseline out of bounds. And Munnings takes the long 3, and he hits it. So Travis Munnings ready to step up with Buddy Hield on the bench. And you see the ball handling wizardry from Montero. And they're going to call a travel that time on Montero, as there's a little bit of a little discussion happening there. Montero not appreciating Munnings getting in his face, but sportsmanship prevails. So Travis Munnings currently plays for the Louisiana Monroe college basketball team. Recently graduated, actually. Here's Carey. Gets to the elbow. Too strong, and the rebound goes to Munnings, who goes through the contact and finishes. And Travis Munnings and Montero once again getting their feet tangled. So timeout on the floor, and Travis Munnings, who did average 16 points and 7 rebounds per game for the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks this past year at NCAA Division I. He is 6'6", 200 pounds, and can clearly score. So another weapon alongside Buddy Hield for this Bahamas team. Munnings in his first game on Friday just had 3 points in 22 minutes, and he already has 11 here tonight. So you see the free throw numbers, both teams perfect from the free throw line. So Coach Boleg making the most of his assistants. And you see the other three-pointer from Montero. So coming back the other way, Dominican Republic down 7. Courtesy of Travis Munnings. And Mendoza, the nice quick spin move. Araujo unable to finish. And great hustle. Ends up in the hands of De Leon. Number 10. And now the three-pointer is good. Sadiel Rojas for 3. Second three-pointer of the night for the Dominican Republic. So the ball goes inside. Shaquille Clear. And they're going to call a foul on the ground. So here's Munnings over to Clear. Clear can't finish. Araujo over to De Leon. Oh, step back three. That's no good. Here comes Michael Carey. Gets by Mendoza. And it's going to be another steal here. And the leak out sails out of bounds. Too high for Rojas. So 21 seconds to go in the first quarter. As you see, Rojas, after hitting that first three, had a chance in transition. So Buddy Hield going to come into the game here for the last 21-plus seconds. And he's got to be careful, obviously. So they're going to look to isolate. Game clock under 10. Here comes Clear. Clears out space with the screen. Little Euro step. He can't finish. Buddy Hield as the buzzer sounds. No good. So a scoreless quarter. Oh, never mind, a three-point quarter that is for Buddy Hield. But it's the rest of the guys. Travis Munnings, 11 points here in the first quarter to get the Bahamas an 18-14 lead over the Dominican Republic in Santo Domingo. So a great start for the Bahamas on the road. Of course, still winless in this competition. And you see the stats. Dominican Republic struggling inside the arc, 1 of 6. Meanwhile, both teams counting on free throws. So the round 2 of the World Cup qualifiers start off in September, and this Dominican Republic team has already qualified. Unfortunately for the Bahamas, they have already been, I'm not going to say disqualified, but they haven't advanced to the second round. But back to Travis Munnings after that bright first quarter, 11 points, already 4 rebounds. Munnings, who's a few years younger, or 1 year younger than Buddy Hield, actually went to the same high school, Sunrise Christian Academy in Kansas, that Buddy Hield went to before Hield eventually went to the Oklahoma Sooners. But Travis Munnings decided to go to Louisiana Monroe. So you saw Hield there with that tough finish. And the rest of the Bahamas highlights are likely going to be of Munnings. Meanwhile, for the Dominican Republic, they were led in scoring by Victor Liz, who has 4. So second quarter action about to get underway. And so here's Carey on the wing now. Jason Cornish gets a screen from Clear. Carey, shot clock under 5. Mendoza putting the pressure. Step back from Carey, no good. But the ball goes off Montero and will stay with the Bahamas. So here's Burrows now on the wing, gets the screen from Colby. Rolls hard, takes the contact, and it's going to be a foul on Sadiel Rojas. Rojas, who comes in averaging 10.6 rebounds, also plays for a Basketball Champions League team, UCAM Murcia. And Kadeem Colby will head to the free throw line for a chance to add to this Bahamas lead. The first free throw is good for Colby, his first points. So 1 for 2, and they're going to the whistle. I believe they call it a kick ball. So here comes De Leon. Mendoza looking to cross over, kicks it back out. Rojo for the 3, in and out. And Munnings takes another 3. This time it won't fall. De Leon pushing it back the other way. And Mendoza open in the corner for 3. He can't finish either. Big rebound there from Rojo. And the fans, you can hear how loud they get. Montero getting it. Runner off the glass is good. And these fans are ready to roar anytime anything good happens. Meanwhile, the game is speeding up a little bit. Here comes Mendoza, takes the contact and falls down hard. He seems to be okay. So Rigoberto Mendoza with a strong drive. So the Bahamians still up 3 with Mendoza at the line. First free throw is good. And 2 for 2. So the ball gets advanced to Burrows. Here's Cornish. Little in and out dribble. Finds Colby and 1. Nice feed and a nice finish from Kadeem Colby. And he'll get a chance for the 3-point play. So Kadeem Colby at the free throw line now. Colby, who in his first game on Friday for the Bahamas had 18 minutes of action, 6 points. So he completes a 3-point play with a free throw. And Mendoza takes a 3, again too strong. And Carey, he can't get a 3 either. Burrows another offensive rebound. Can't hit the putback, gets another chance and gets it in this time. And they're going to call a delay of game warning as the Bahamas back up 6, really taking advantage on the inside. So here comes Adris de Leon. It's de Leon again, top of the key. Shot clock under 10, de Leon. Hesitation, gets into the lane, kicks it over. Rojas another 3, again can't finish. And de Leon comes away with a rebound, pulls up for 3 and hits it. Confident looking shot from de Leon, who's already eclipsed his scoring average with that one shot. And they're going to call, oh, Montero was out of bounds as he got the rebound. So the ball will go back to the Bahamas. So Munnings will inbound it. Looking for Carey, who dumps it down to Colby. Right strong move to the basket. Kadeem Colby. Impressive looking big man. And Camacho, as you see the switching man-to-man defense here from the Bahamas. And Rojas. Oh, what a block that time from Kadeem Colby. Burrows up to Munnings, who again. And you can see Munnings a little bit frustrated with guys taking them out at the basket. And a huge block from Colby. And a nice fast break. As bodies kind of flying everywhere. So Kadeem Colby making a pretty big impact before he checked out of the game. Replaced here by Shaquille Clear. Definitely some big bodies for the Bahamas. And Munnings back at the free throw line. So 2-2 free throws for Munnings. Kadeem Colby, who saw the big block there, played his college basketball for a few schools, ending up at Wichita State in 2014. His brother Dwight, who's also on this team, played at University of Kansas. As you see, Munnings And Montero exchanging pleasantries on the other end. I'm sure Money's not too pleased with the fouls he's been receiving, even though they have been called fouls. But, you know, you don't want to risk injury either. So it's definitely hot in this gym. You can see the people waving towels to stay cool. Here's Rojas. Coronado. And it's another steal. Travis Munnings in transition, kicks it out. Michael Carey for three. And again, that's no good. So the Bahamas getting some great looks. They are up 7. Meanwhile, Dominican Republic seems a little bit rushed into that layup. And it's Victor Liz again, who's playing very well here in the first half. Michael Carey, nice pass inside, and Shaquille Clear finishes. So great two-man action that time between Clear and Carey. And every time Montero touches the ball, you hear the fans want him to do something special with it. Here's Coronado. Looks to turn the corner. Feeds it back to Camacho. He takes it strong to the basket off the glass. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor. So Bahamas still enjoying a 5-point lead, despite the last basket that time from Camacho. So listening to the huddles.
Travis is going to set the first one. Shaq's going to set the second ball screen. Mike, you come off hard. Travis, you act like you're rolling, right? I've been in for Travis. Shaq, you're coming back. Travis, we're looking for you for a three. If that's not there, we got Shaq for the slip, and we can post him up. Hey, keep up that hard. Keep it together. Mike, sound. Even on the short screen, I communicating with chance on rebound.
So you can see in the huddle how badly guys want to play well, play for each other, play together. And you see the three-pointers just not falling here tonight for either team. Dominican Republic 3 of 12, Bahamas just 1 for 10. And so far, Buddy Hield 0 for 3 from 3. Travis Munnings 1 of 4. Michael Carey 0 for 3. So those are good shots. They are 9 for 10 from the free throw line. Let's take a look at some of the last couple buckets. So Jason Cornish will inbound it here to get the Bahamas going once again. We'll see if they're able to execute the play drawn up in the timeout. So it seems to be some confusion as Dominican Republic in his zone. And Shaquille Clear just decides to shoot over. Camacho can't finish. Montero with the rebound and pushing the tempo. Montero over to Liz for 3. Again, no good. So the cold shooting continues. Remember, these two teams took nearly 4 minutes to convert the first field goal of the game. Here's Clear now, backing down. The extra pass, Cornish catch and shoot 3 in the corner, way too strong, and it's not just an air ball, it's gonna be a foul. As Burrows, battling for the rebound, goes over the back. So Buddy Hield coming back into the game here, 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. And Montero again likes to dribble. And Victor Liz gets into the lane and loses the ball out of bounds. Seemed to be a little bit of contact. So Hield will take over the point guard duties. Pressured by Coronado. And the post up goes inside to Clear, who again able to go up strong, and the ball bounces around. And there's Travis Munnings again with another putback. And that's going to lead to another timeout as Travis Munnings gets his 4th field goal and his 5th rebound of the day. So it's another timeout as Bahamas up 30-25, under 3.5 minutes to go here in the quarter. And of course, when these two teams faced off only a few months ago in February, the DR won that matchup 96-63. You see the field goal attempts, real struggle right now for the Dominican Republic, just 29%, Bahamas just 32%. But in that game, the Dominican Republic won 96-63. That's a 33-point win. Mendoza had 18 points and 6 steals. Edward Santana, 11 points. And Luis Montero had 17 points. Victor Liz had 19 points. So they were getting huge production from a lot of players. The only problem is that only 2 players for this Bahamas team were involved in that February game. So you're seeing 10 new players if you're the Dominican Republic against a team that you beat by 33 points a few months ago. And it's a completely different type of battle. Obviously, it's not just Buddy Hield. We mentioned Travis Munnings. Kadeem Colby also wasn't involved in that game. Neither was Shaquille Clear. The only 2 were Michael Carey and Jerron Burroughs, who each had 11 points. But everyone else is a new face. So Bahamas has a reason to be confident. Obviously lost a tough game against the Virgin Islands the other night. And they forced a travel there on Coronado, who seemed to have dragged his pivot foot. And you can hear the murmurs in the crowd as they're a little bit, I don't want to say nervous, but anticipating a little bit better effort and execution from the Dominican Republic. Just 25 points and quite a few turnovers as the open 3 for Burroughs. That's no good. So they're very fortunate that Bahamas can't hit a 3 right now. And double turnovers leads to the Dominican Republic coming back. And that's a 3-pointer for Victor Liz. So he gets them out of that scoring drought. Six points now for Liz. 9 points, sorry. And Carey gets all the way to the basket. Shot blocked by Camacho. Montero, no look. Rojas to the rim. Can't finish. Hield with the rebound. Decides to pull it back. And he has to be careful here walking it up. Hield splits the double team. And almost got to the lay it up as Montero seems to come up hobbling. Grabbing his calf. But great ball handling here from Buddy Hield, splitting the double team, taking off, and Montero seems to think he had a clean block there. Buddy Hield daps him up. Potential some truth there in Montero's feelings. So Colby back into the game. His younger brother, Dwight Colby, also on this team, actually. The University of Kansas player, former Kansas player. And Hield misses the first free throw. So 1 for 2 for Buddy. And I think he'll come out of the game to avoid picking up a 4th foul here in the first half. So Bahamas in a 2-3 zone defensively. Looking to invite the Dominican Republic to shoot from the outside as Mendoza looking for cracks in the defense. And a very tough shot is knocked down. Gelvis Solano, who just checked in a few seconds ago, hoists up a tough shot and knocks it down. So here's Burrows. Carey finds some space and banks in the three. And he's able to finally knock down the outside shot. It was just 1 for 8 before that. Oh, Solano almost making it back-to-back plays, and the putback is in for Edwin Santana. And you see Coach Bowleg down the sideline racing to the table to call that timeout. So timeout on the floor with the Bahamas still having a 4-point lead. That last field goal from Carey, actually his first field goal, made field goal 1 for 8 in 18 minutes of play. So again, for the Dominican Republic, welcoming the Bahamas here to Santo Domingo with their 4-1 record. And they have that ticket to the windows that started September. Meanwhile, the Bahamas, 0-5, were eliminated this past Thursday when they lost against the U.S. Virgin Islands in a game that actually took place in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Again, you see the three-point percentages there. Both teams really struggling from beyond the arc. And the Dominican Republic perhaps still reeling a little bit from the 97-61 loss against Canada, the top team in Group D at the moment. So Buddy Hield comes back to run a couple of offensive plays. And they need to inbound the ball first, so Carey gets it. Dominican Republic looking to trap in the backcourt, and it leads to the turnover. So the press to perfection and forces Carey into a really, really bad pass that sails out of bounds. So the timeout called by Coach Bowleg doesn't pay off, and Hield comes back out of the game to prevent potential foul. Solano again. Shot clock at 10. Mendoza gets it into Camacho. Shot no good, and the rebound is going to stay here with the Dominican Republic. And shot clock reset to 14, so 10.5 seconds left in the second quarter. More substitutions. Here's Solano, gives it over to Liz. Step back three, no good. Rebound Cornish. And he won't be able to get a shot up. And that's the end of the first half of action, with the Bahamas holding on to a 36-32 lead at the half. In what's been a poor shooting night for both teams. Both teams scoring 18 points here in the second quarter. And we'll take a look at some of the stats here before we cut to the highlights. But overall, Dominican Republic shooting just 32%. Meanwhile, the Bahamas also at 32%. In terms of twos and threes, you see teams combining for 6 of 28 overall. Meanwhile, Travis Munnings, the lone bright star on the offensive end, and the only player in double figures in the entire game. Meanwhile, for the Dominican Republic, Victor Lees leading the way with 9 points and 4 rebounds. You see Munnings 15 and 6, coming off a 3-point performance against the Virgin Islands, so much improved game from him here. And Colby also had an impressive start. He's got 6 points on 2 of 2 shooting. So we'll get a look at some of the highlights of the first half. Can't say there are too many to choose from the offensive standpoint, but there have been some phenomenal defensive plays, including a couple huge blocks. So Buddy Hield did get us going with that first field goal. Travis Munnings following suit. So welcome back to the Palacio de los Deportes in lovely Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. It's a Group D matchup in the American qualifiers between the Bahamas and the Dominican Republic. Game day 6, the second and final game of the third window of the first round for both these teams, while the Dominican Republic will be advancing to the second round starting in September, the next window. The Bahamas has been eliminated prior to this game due to their loss to the Virgin Islands on Thursday. So these two islands only separated by 636 miles, if even that. The Bahamas just a little bit more northwest of the Hispaniola island that calls Dominican Republic and Haiti home. And obviously these two islands in the Caribbean, so surrounded by sunshine, but nothing sunny about the shooting so far in the first half, as both teams have really shot ice cold. 32% for the Dominican Republic and 32% as well for the Bahamas. Bahamas 2 for 13 from 3. The DR 4 of 15. And Dominican Republic 9 turnovers, which have really plagued them. Led to some transition opportunities for the Bahamas. The Bahamas team that only has 4 points from Buddy Hield. He's just 1 of 4 from the field. This is after a performance on Thursday that saw Buddy Hield put up 16 three-pointers, made 5 of them, also had 6 assists, 13 rebounds in 37 minutes. Obviously his minutes limited, playing just 9 here due to the 3 fouls. So we'll see how aggressive he is defensively. And we'll also see how the referees choose to call this second half. So the Bahamas expecting the Dominican Republic to come out with a lot of energy.
They're going to double him. We're going to swing it to Travis up top. He's going to go right to you for a dunk. Yeah. And you're spraying hard and don't even set it. Slip out. Si no hay un solo jugador ahí, a coger el pico al medio.
So we're about ready to get the second quarter action started here. So Rigoberto Mendoza will still come off the bench as Coronado gets it over to Santana. Lis looking to get the ball inside the Camacho. Again, Buddy Hield to the back of that zone, and a great cut and finish for Montero. So they're looking to hide Buddy Hield in the back of a zone to avoid him picking up any fouls, but somehow leave the lane wide open. And the Dominican Republic cuts the deficit to 2. Hield catch and shoot 3. It's good. What a quick release. Buddy Hield coming out the halftime locker room very aggressive with that possession. And Montero, the ball gets swung around to Lis, spins, loses the ball. Camacho ends up with it, and it's going to be out of bounds. No foul called. So you see there, as the shot no good from Lis. And we haven't seen Dagoberto Peña, the 6'6" shooting guard. Only had 3 points against Canada, but hasn't played here tonight. Currently plays for Movistar Estudiantes. And that's where also Rigoberto Mendoza will be heading over to Estudiantes Concordia in the Argentine League. So 5 seconds on the shot clock here for the Dominicans. And Coronado has to put up a quick shot. No good. Buddy Hield to the rebound. And we expect Hield to let it fly quite a lot as he skips it over to Burrows. Takes it strong to the basket. It gets fouled. So 2 free throws to come for Burrows. And the foul's going to go against Santana. So Burrows just 1 of 5 so far here in the game. Does have 6 rebounds, and he hits that free throw. His first free throw of the night. Also has 2 blocks. So Jerome Burrows again alongside Michael Carey, the only 2 returning players from that first matchup just 4 months ago. Between these 2 teams that saw the Bahamas lose by 30+ points to this Dominican team. Here's Victor Lis. Gets it inside. Santana takes his time. Can't finish. Camacho battling for the rebound. Seems like the teammates are battling for it. Hield. And they're going to call a foul on Coronado. And you can see Buddy Hield interacting with the fans a little bit. So here comes Hield as the Bahamas now has a 7-point lead. Crossing over, looking to create some space, and they're going to call a hand check on Camacho. And I don't think Camacho was hoping to switch onto Buddy Hield on the perimeter. And Hield with space, too strong on that three, and it's going to be a foul. It looks like it's going to be on Kadeem Colby as he chased down the offensive rebound and gets caught for the foul. So Colby will come out of the game following that foul, which is, I believe, his second foul on Colby. And Montero on the block, just a little to the left. Shaquille Clear just checked in, gets that rebound. Here comes Hield in fast break. Misses the runner. And a quick outlet. Dominican push it up, and Victor Elise with a smooth reverse layup in the foul. So 3-point play opportunity for Elise. You see here the nice Euro step. Not an easy finish. Going back over the shoulder. So we were hoping for a close game. We're getting exactly that. Two teams competing. And Victor Elise, you see there with 11 points. Leading scorer for the Dominican Republic, make that 12. Still the only player in double figures. And Hield again getting fouled by Camacho, who gets tripped up. So Camacho insisting that he did nothing wrong, but he picks up his, I believe, his third foul. Here comes Travis Munnings over to Michael Carey. And again, Michael Carey really struggling there from beyond the arc. And that foul as Camacho goes up strong. But Carey is just 1 of 5 on the night from 3, 1 of 9 overall. So Eloy Camacho will head to the free throw line for 2 shots. And the first free throw is good for Camacho. Camacho, who does average 10 points, 6.5 rebounds. Coming off a tough shooting night against Canada, just 3 of 11. He had 9 points. Does have the size, 6'11". And you see the shooting touch from the free throw line, able to knock 2 down. So Munnings gets it over to Carey, who loses it. Munnings, good hustle. And a scrap for the loose ball. They're going to call it jump ball. So no harm, no foul there. Even though Montero takes the brunt of that. You see him grabbing his kind of calf or leg area again. So jump ball is the call on the floor. And the possession arrow will stay with the Bahamas. So they're just cleaning up the wet spots, and also the ball seems to have a little moisture to it. Here's Munnings inbounding. And it's Hield as a shot clock under 10. Carey finds room all the way to the basket for the easy lay-in off the glass. Michael Carey with the explosive first step. And coming back the other way, drawing contact was Lease. And they're going to keep the ball here to the Dominicans. And you see it's just so hot in the gym that they need to use a towel to wipe down the ball as much as possible. And you see the players also using towels. Players need to look out for cramps. So you see a lot of stretching on the sidelines. Juan Garcia, number 41, into the game for the first time. And here comes Coronado quickly down the lane. What a move. Wow, Juan Coronado, explosive lightning coming down that lane, and it's a 2-point game now. No basket, no good, but the tip-in falls in for clear. And it's a turnover. Buddy Hield to steal, and he gets the easy 2. So quick 4-0 spurt here from the Bahamas to get the lead back out to 6. Nice pass, another steal though. Buddy Hield gets into the passing lane, looking to attack, and Hield all the way. As we see, there's another wet spot, and Buddy Hield, wow, very aggressive in transition. 6 quick points for the Bahamas leads to a timeout as the floor is getting a little bit more, I don't want to say slippery or wet. You can see the referees want to make sure that they can control of it. So 8-point lead now for the Bahamas. Buddy Hield really heating up, 11 points. You see Juan Garcia there. Just his second game in a Dominican uniform in the World Cup qualifiers. Had 2 points in 9 minutes on Thursday. You see the shooting percentages again, just 33% from the field for the Dominicans.
We go right back to Travis. We go into Shaq. All right? But this time, Keno, go and screen for Travis. So that way Shaq's got to look at Travis first. We've been there before. Go set the player. Take a ball. Take a ball. Take a ball.
You see the leadership from Buddy Hield as he gets the steal and the breakaway kind of mini dunk. And on the next possession, takes the ball coast to coast. So Hield joins Munnings in double figures. Victor Lees still the only Dominican player with more than 10 points as he has 12. So we haven't seen too much of Rigoberto Mendoza, who's arguably been the best player for the Dominican Republic. And he's in the game now, number 2. And right to the basket, that's Solano once again. A nice little shimmy and able to get all the way to the cup. And you see him putting the pressure on Hield in the backcourt now. Hield stays with it and ends up with the layup. So a lot of stop and go dribbling from Buddy Hield, and he's able to get away from the defense. Oh, nice hesitation, Solano. Rojas runs into traffic, can't finish, but the rebound from Santana, and he puts in the offensive rebound. So second chance point that time for DR. And Buddy Hield draws a foul. Solano, he has to be careful with that off arm though. That's Buddy Hield. 2 free throws to come for Hield after the 15th foul by the Dominicans. So Buddy Hield at the free throw line now, looking for points 12 and 13. And again, you can just feel the heat of the arena as players are slipping all over the floors. The ball is wet. And we just need some of these shots to start falling, as the field goal percentage is still in the low 30s. But 2 for 2 from the line for Buddy. And the Dominican Republic still yet to have any kind of lead here in this game. There's only been one lead change. Obviously, that's from the first time that the Bahamas grabbed the lead. As Hield again in the backcourt. Gets a nice screen. Gets double teamed. Splits it. And a give and go. Nope, Colby can't quite make the catch off the pass from Clear. So it almost worked out until it didn't. And Jason Cornish re-enters the game. Cornish, who didn't play at all in the World Cup qualifiers until this one. He and Zane Knowles both getting their first action of the qualifiers here tonight. Zane Knowles didn't get too many minutes. And Solano looking to get past Hield. Jump stop. And it's a nice little hook shot there from Rojas. And he's now got 5 points. Here's Munnings. Oh, it's going to be an offensive foul call on Shaquille Clear. Shaquille kind of reminiscent of another Shaquille there. Coming down hard on the lane. Clearing out the defense. Santana drawing the charge. So there's Dagoberto Peña for the first time. Plays over in Spain. And Peña catch and shoot 3 on the first touch. Can't get the lucky bounce. So Colby connects the rebound. And Buddy Hield will walk it up yet again. He has to be careful of the push off. Another double team, and he finds Colby, who can't make the move to the basket. Quick outlet. Here comes Peña. Finds a trailing Mendoza in the corner here. Step back 3. And Mendoza airballs. It had a easier look on the first initial catch. Oh, nice spin move from Shaquille Clear, and the finish. Soft, feathery touch from the big man. And it's an offensive foul. So Rojas called for the illegal screen. As you take another look here, the spin and soft touch from Clear. So Buddy Hield took a little fall, a little spill. And he'll come out of the game here briefly as he encourages the fans to boo him. So Buddy Hield will get a quick break here at the end of the third quarter. Michael Carey takes over the point guard duties. And Cornish as well. Carey catch and shoot 3. He hits it. Second 3 of the night for Michael Carey. And the lead is now in double figures for the Bahamas. Plus 11. And now I think it's safe to say that these Dominican fans are nervous. And one-on-one action. Solano able to get the elbow jumper to fall. But we're not seeing much of offensive action from the Dominican Republic. A lot of one-on-one play as Munnings runs into the wall. And it's going to be a foul on the floor. But still 2 free throws to come for Clear, since the They're in the bonus. So Shaquille Clear heads to the free throw line. Again, Clear, this is his 4th game for the Bahamas. Comes in averaging 12.3 points, 5.5 rebounds. Didn't have the greatest game against the Virgin Islands, just 7 points, 5 rebounds. But he knocks down the free throw here. Shaquille Clear, who played his college basketball for the Maryland Terrapins. It was formerly the ACC, but eventually the Big Ten. Went to school in Texas like a lot of these Bahamas players. Went to school in high school in Texas and Oklahoma. And it's going to be a blocking foul on Cornish. So 2 free throws coming here for Rojas. And we haven't seen Luraw's Nairn, the point guard for the Bahamas, yet. He played 30 minutes against the Virgin Islands, had 13 points. So, not sure if he's injured. But the first free throw falls for Rojas. And Buddy Hield also back into the game. Montero also has been quite quiet by his standards. Just 7 points, 4 rebounds for him. Here's Hield. It's taken away. Solano, breakaway action. And he throws it down with one hand. Elvis Solano getting the crowd on their feet. You see the excitement from his teammates and from the fans as he rips Buddy Hield from behind and then gets the breakaway one-handed jam. So Bahamas calls a timeout as again this scrappy Dominican team cuts it down to 6. You see the shooting percentages going up just a little bit. So you see again here, Solano taking off, letting out a little scream too. Hield was tracking behind him. And what a feeling that must be to come into the Palacio de los Deportes and get a breakaway dunk in front of this Santo Domingo crowd filled with families and friends, and very, very great atmosphere here. One of the better ones we've seen in the American qualifiers. And Hill throws it away on the inbound. Pena tracks it down. So a low pressure press forces a turnover as Rojas able to get the offensive rebound on the Solano miss. Here's Montero. The fans want him to take it, so he does. And he banks in the 3, and you see the fans going wild. Under 30. And Montero now in double figures. Again, he has so much game. And you can hear the roars from the crowd And here's Hield, who spins away. Tough shot, nearly and one. Solano commits the foul as Hield faded away. So Buddy Hield will get a chance to head to the free throw line. He's got 15 points on the night now, 5 of 10 shooting. Also 7 rebounds for Buddy. And Burrows coming into the game. So the first free throw is good for Buddy. So 2 for 2, and he'll come out of the game. So these fans, you hear how they get about Luis Montero as, it was almost a desperation shot that fell for Solano. After 3 quarters of action, it's the Bahamas still enjoying a 5-point lead over the Dominican Republic. So stay tuned for what's sure to be a thrilling 4th quarter here in Santo Domingo. So make sure you check out the FIBA World Cup app so you can check out all the highlights, updates, videos, and stats from all the games, including this one. As you see the stats getting a little bit better, especially inside the arc. Both teams starting to find their rhythm. Bahamas still enjoying a 5-point lead. As you see some of the highlights, Montero, number 44, who did enjoy brief life in the NBA, especially the Summer League in the preseason. Played a bit for the Blazers. Was also involved in the Miami Heat, all in the Summer League or the preseason. Last year, signed to a 2-way contract by the Detroit Pistons. So played in the G League as well for a few months. And it's actually important to note that Montero did make his NBA debut back in 2015 for the Blazers. So here's Camacho looking to post up on the block. And Peña catch and shoot 3. No good. Rebound goes to Burrows. So here in the 4th quarter of a close game, it's going to come down to execution. As Munnings able to get away from Rojas. Oh, the nice pass and the throwdown from Colby. Wow, Carey with the beautiful find. And Colby with a thunderous throwdown. Here's Solano. Pulls up, long jumper, long two, no good. Carey gets the rebound, realizes no numbers, and pulls it back. Solano looking to deny, Buddy Hield. Here's Munnings. Oh, and there's a collision. It's going to be an offensive foul as Burrows. We'll see if it was incidental contact or with intent behind it. Judging by the way that Burrows fell, doesn't seem like it was anything intentional. So again, 3 players now in double figures for Bahamas, as Michael Carey has 10 points. Also 6 assists for Carey to join Buddy Hield's 17 and Munnings' 15. Munnings had that electrifying first quarter, has been relatively quiet since. Here's Montero now. Looks to attack. Gives it over to Peña. Extra pass, catch and shoot. Solano, he can't hit the 3. And Buddy Hield able to get away. Colby was stripped by Montero, but they're going to call it foul. So Luis Montero gets a foul called against him. See Buddy Hield finds Colby. So Montero picks up his 3rd foul. And Colby at the free throw line looking for points 9 and 10 to become the 4th player from the Bahamas in double figures potentially. So 2 for 2 for Colby. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor as Bahamas takes a 9-point lead into the break. Meanwhile, Dominican Republic looking to reorganize. You're seeing a few dejected faces there. Still plenty of time to get back into this game. It's under 10, with over 8 minutes to go. So we're seeing a lot of vocal leadership from Buddy Hield in the huddles, also with his teammates. As you see the dunk there from Colby, Buddy's been a great example for all the kids in the Bahamas. Again, he talked at length about, since he was very young, he knew he wanted to improve his game and wanted to face superior competition. So he decided to leave the Bahamas, but he never forgot his roots. And he got the opportunity to play for his national team here in these World Cup qualifiers and did just that. And he plans on playing for the Bahamas for years to come. Again, trying to inspire kids from the island and also just improve the basketball infrastructure. As Montero takes the 3, no good. Camacho fights for the board. He can't get the putback. And Colby comes away with it. Carey, oh, the nice steal from Solano. And here comes Mendoza, strong to the basket, finishing with the left hand. So we see the athleticism of Rigoberto Mendoza. So explosive, especially in the open court. And they're calling an illegal screen as Montero ran into Burrows. Call that a crackback. So Burrows seemed to have his feet set, but probably put a little bit too much of the upper body into the screen. Montero fortunately gets up. He's okay. And as a big guy, that's the toughest thing when you set a good hard screen and get called for an offensive foul. The referee's just looking to protect the players. And Burroughs adding insult to injury, having to come out of the game. So here's Montero again, another three. Again with the miss. And there's just a lid on that basket on these threes for Dominican Republic. Just 5 for 26. Is Hill unable to connect on the three of his own. Here's Mendoza. And you see a lot of standing around here for the Dominican Republic. Shot clock down at 3. Solano has to put it up. Step back 3, contested from Cornish, air ball. So shot clock violation again. Not much movement on offense from the Dominicans. A lot of isolation play. And it's forcing them into some tough shots. So here's Buddy. Finds the open man. Munnings able to hit mid-range jump shot. Travis Munnings with his first field goal since the first half. Oh, nice in and out dribble. Victor Lees all the way, can't finish. Nearly got the and one. Instead, we'll get 2 free throws and a chance to again put this lead back down to 7. As you see him freeze carry with that in and out, and then take it strong to the basket. So Victor Lee's able to hit the first free throw. So 2 for 2. Victor Lees, who plays for Metros de Santiago, professional basketball team based here in the Dominican Republic. Top division of La Liga Nacional de Baloncesto. And here's the big man now, and a nice left-handed hook shot. Shaquille Clear, who's playing in Switzerland next year, but the Bahamas falls asleep on defense, doesn't come back, and Camacho able to tip it, the quick shot. And Carey steps into a 3 and knocks it in. Wow, rhythm 3 from Mike Carey, who's really picked up his play here in the second half. He's now got 13 points. And another nice move, but just like it's played them all night, they're able to get into the lane but not finish. Finishing the biggest problem here for the Dominican Republic guards. And a foul will be called, the reach in from Rojas. So at one point, both teams were shooting about 32%. Now Dominican Republic up to 34, but the Bahamas really heating up. They're at 42% overall. So Buddy with a little step back fadeaway, he hits it. And it's now a 12-point lead for the Bahamas. And remember, the Dominican Republic 4-1 in this group, as Mendoza with another athletic move gets a spin move to the finger roll. And Bahamas gets Buddy Hield with the missed dunk. So he got all the way to the basket, couldn't finish. And a foul's called as Munnings tried to prevent the layup. But how about that missed dunk there from Buddy Hield, who kind of caught the defense off guard in transition, got by everyone. Here's the handoff. Nice little move there from Mendoza. Santana looking for space, tough shot. Fadeaway doesn't drop. Munnings the rebound and nearly turns it over. Bahamas now with numbers. Carey pulls it out. It's Cornish. He's wide open for three, and he hits it. Big shot. Jason Cornish, who's been very quiet, Jerron Cornish, sorry, gets his first three of the night, his first points here in the qualifiers for the Bahamas. Victor Lees in the lane, and now he finishes the layup. So the Dominican Republic need to get some stops together if they want to cut more into this deficit more. Here's Buddy, happy to use up some clock. Montero reaches, and it's going to be an offensive foul on Buddy Hield. Rojas stepped in, right time, took the shoulder in the chest pretty much. So Buddy Hield asking for a timeout. Obviously the coaches have to call the timeouts to FIBA. So timeout on the floor, the Bahamas, the 13-point lead. Really doing a great job here in the fourth quarter, outscoring the Dominican Republic 16-8. So you see the field goal percentages. So after a really fun third quarter that saw the score 25-24 in favor of the Bahamas, Dominican Republic really cooling down here in the fourth. Just 10 points in 7 minutes. Meanwhile, +6 for the Bahamas. So we'll take another look here. The Cornish three had his toe right on the line, it seemed. And Michael Carey, three of his own earlier. So the three-point shots finally starting to fall here in the fourth quarter for the Bahamas. So here comes Montero. Free up Mendoza. He gets into the lane. Tough shot, no good. And offensive rebound, put back and one for Edwin Santana. And Santana always with that focused look on his face. So Montero will come out of the game as Santana looks to cut this lead even further. And Buddy Hield, strong take, can't finish it. Mendoza, the quick outlet. And Victor Lees, no foul called, but also seemed to get away with the travel. So Hield slows it down. Ball's deflected out of bounds, but will stay with the Bahamas. So 8-point lead, under 3 minutes to go. Bahamas just under 3 minutes away from their first win, but they throw it away. Here comes Victor Lees. Gets the reverse layup, and it's down to 6. 2-possession game. And the fans getting loud. Here's Michael Carey now, dumps it off. And to put it back is good for Burroughs. So Burroughs able to push the lead back up to 8, but Dominican Republic had the initial stop, just couldn't get the defensive rebound. And Lees now gets back into the lane, another tough take. Victor Lees with a strong finish. He's got 20 points now on the night. Here's Carey. Getting harassed from Solano. And it's a near steal. Hield ends up with it. And they're going to call a foul on the floor. Dominican Republic still with another foul to give. So 1:48. 3 team fouls so far on the Dominican Republic. You see Buddy Hield battling for position there with Solano. And Colby gets it. Here's Carey. They find Munnings. 5 seconds, long 3 for Carey. No good, and on the battle for the rebound is going to be a foul on Edward Santana. So that was the last foul to give for the Dominican Republic. Both teams will be in the bonus the rest of the way as Camacho checks back into the game, replacing Santana. Santana with 9 points. And it's another turnover. Mendoza now in the transition, scoops it in. It's down to 4. And you see the Dominican players urging the fans to get on their feet. And they oblige. And the entire palace very excited here for the last 90 seconds of this Group D match of the American Qualifiers. You see 3-pointers just haven't been falling consistently for either team. But it's been a pretty even game. You see there from the points in the paint. Both teams doing most of their damage around the basket or at the free throw line. Points off turnovers, 3-point favor. So you see the steal, the breakaway as Mendoza, whose minutes have been somewhat limited, but he does have 8 points here, 3 of 7 shooting. So the fans still roaring, trying to will their team to a stop here on defense. And the ball ends up in the hands of Buddy Hield, who seems to have maybe pushed off a little bit. And it's a turnover for Buddy. And a foul on Mike Carey. So Buddy Hield a little bit loosey-goosey with the ball handling. And that's now his sixth turnover. Had 6 turnovers the other night as well. Six turnovers, 1 assist for Buddy. Does have 7 rebounds to go with his 19 points. But obviously more efficient coming off screens and having plays ran for him than having the ball in his hands as Mendoza hits the first free throw. Again, Mendoza, one of the stars of his team. And it's now a 2-point game, so Dominican Republic, they nearly turn it over, they do. And you see the wild scenes here in the stands as miscommunication, and Coach Bowleg is in absolute shock by that turnover, completely unforced, even though there was a Dominican player who seems to have stepped over the baseline. So the referees talking it over. And they're going to go to the monitor to make sure that the balls should belong to the Dominican Republic. So they're going to check the replays. So we'll get a chance to look at the replay as well. And the fans catching an up-close look at the replay. So 79-77, a minute 15 to go here in the fourth quarter. The referee's looking to determine who the ball is going to go to. Again, there was a little bit of sloppy play underneath the basket. But you have to applaud the effort of the Dominicans. They have gone in a 11-0 run here in the last couple minutes, as they were down 13, now down 2. Victor Lees, 20 points, leading the way for the Dominicans. Right behind him is Mendoza at 10. Meanwhile, 4 players in double figures for the Bahamas. So the referees unable to get a clear determination of who the ball went off of. And again, Dominican Republic, a winning tradition. Obviously, we're able to qualify for the 2014 World Cup back in a few years ago. And so far in the World Cup qualifiers, they've beaten the Virgin Islands by 10, beat Canada in a major game in the Santiago de los Caballeros, Won by 12 back in November. And the ball will indeed stay with the Dominican Republic. So they'll get the chance to either tie or take the lead. Meanwhile, the Bahamas have to be just thinking about what happened. So we'll take a look at the replay here as the ball touched Munnings' hand before landing out of bounds. So Victor Lees will take it out. Goes to Rojas. Mendoza looking for Lees. And they're going to call a blocking foul. So 2 free throws to come here for Lees. As it seems like Munnings used his leg to impede the progress of the offensive player. Actually, the foul's going to be on Michael Carey. So 2 free throws awarded to Victor Lees. And he's too strong on the first. So won't get a chance to tie it on this free throw. But still plenty of time for either team to come out on top of this one. And the second free throw falls for Lees. So it's now a 1-point game. And you see the full court press, which has really bothered the Bahamas. And it's another steal. Mendoza gets it to Lees, and they take the lead. The Dominican Republic fight all the way back in the last 5 minutes, and they now have a 1-point lead. Here's Munnings now, and he gets fouled. So he'll head to the free throw line for 2 shots. What a sequence of events to turn this game around. It's the Bahamas up 13 points just a few minutes ago. And next thing you know, the Dominican Republic up 1. So Munnings at the free throw line, and he calmly sinks the first free throw. Again, just completed his junior year of college, still in school. But Munnings playing like a man here today. And he's able to knock down both to put the Bahamas back up 1 under a minute to go. Again, both teams in the bonus, so any foul is free throws. And more free throws to come this time for Solano. So both teams have guards who can really put the ball on the floor and attack their man. There's just not enough faith in the help side defense. So 2 more free throws, this time for Solano. And he's short on his first free throw, so 2 missed free throws here lately in the last moments. Again, fatigue setting in. So Solano with a chance to tie, and he misses both. Munnings comes away with a rebound, and here's Hield. Just looking to get over half court, does so. Finds Carey. Carey with a nice move and finish. And it's going to be a timeout on the floor. Dominican Republic. So Michael Carey making another strong move, getting his 15th point of the night. And what an environment here for the last game, one of the last games of the night. Also Chile, Venezuela taking place.
Defensively, use our switching. One stop. Hold on. Yo, be alert for the slips on our switches. Yeah. The screen isn't set. You stay with yours. Don't let him set up a slip play.
Hey, on this shot, 5 of you go to the boards. All right? Then they shoot me down the board. One stop.
Defense, be alert on their shooters.
So, you heard the instructions as we take another look at those turnovers that have really plagued the Bahamas here down the stretch. Michael Carey with a nice Euro step and finish. And you see the assistant coaches for the Bahamas team very active on the sidelines. Steve Barnes, one of the assistants, Norris Bain, another. So down 3, Bahamas looking to get a stop and potentially get their first win. Meanwhile, Dominican Republic need to get points on the board. And that shot is no good. Burrows ends up with a rebound, and they foul him, and he elbows 2 guys accidentally at once. So Burrows simultaneously taking out 2 Dominican players by accident as they were looking to foul him. So free throws here for Burrows. So far, he's 2 for 2. And he misses the first, which would have made it a 2-possession game. Still has one more chance at it. The Bahamas is 21 for 25 from the free throw line, 84%. But Burrows needs to knock this one down to give them a little bit more comfort. But instead, he leaves the door open. And down 3, Dominican Republic with a chance to tie. Montero has it. And almost had the and one. And you see there the disappointment. Almost seen the ball drop. We'll have a chance to, as you see, Munnings explaining that he did not commit that foul. So Montero will head to the free throw line. Shaquille Clear checks back in for the rebound. And Montero knocks down the first free throw. So Montero goes 2 for 2. It's back down to a 1-point game. And Buddy Hield fumbles the ball, and there's going to be a foul on Munnings. Wow, what a scene. Buddy Hield couldn't hold on to the ball, and it's another turnover down the stretch for the Bahamas. So no foul call, just a deflection out of bounds. The Dominican Republic down 1, no timeouts left. Inbounded to Camacho, goes back to Lease, spins away, shot doesn't fall. Camacho going for the tip, and the referee declares that the ball will go to Dominican Republic. We'll get a replay potentially to once again determine whose ball it is. In the meantime, the coaches will use this time to huddle up and draw some last-second plays. Lease made the right move, got a good look at the basket as the refs head back to the monitor. So the referees taking a look to see who the ball is going to go to. What a thrilling night of basketball here we've been treated to in Santo Domingo on the final game day of the third window. .7 seconds left. And you see the referees looking at each other, trying to really figure out who the ball is going to belong to. And again, with such a small margin for error, referees would rather not be the reason why a team wins or loses down the stretch. So the instant replay necessary, and the ball will indeed go to the Dominican Republic with 2.7 seconds to go. And they'll get another chance to win this game at home. And I can't imagine what will happen if they're able to do so. So we take a look at it here. A couple pushes in the back. The ball goes to Camacho. He takes the long three. Can't hit it. And the Bahamas win the game. Just like that, the Bahamas come out on top 83-82 to a shocked crowd here in Santo Domingo. They can't believe that they came so close. So many chances to win down the stretch after being pretty much out of it. And in the end, it's Dominican Republic 82. The Bahamas come out with the win, 83. What a game, what a 40 minutes. It felt like there were a couple of overtimes as the game took a while to finish, but they had to get all the plays right. And the Bahamas get their first much-deserved win here in the American qualifiers for the FIBA World Cup, and potentially take a step towards a bright future for the country in terms of the basketball. So once again, it's Bahamas 83, Dominican Republic 82. Buddy Hield, very vocal, finishes the game with 19 points. He's the